Today, we're announcing the general availability of Lenses 6 Panoptes.
We all see how real-time data is leading business transformation.
It can only be addressed by fundamentally changing how we build real-time apps.
The foundation for our vision of the data operating fabric is an intelligent platform that oversees and controls your complete ecosystem of real-time data and apps.
And it's packed with amazing features.
And that's just a glimpse of the power of Lenses 6.
Hello, and welcome to our biggest product announcement yet. In the next few minutes, you will see how we're bringing a whole new level of autonomy to developers working with streaming data. Today, we're announcing the general availability of Lenses 6 Panoptes. It's been co-developed with our customers, Europcar, Kanji, Flow Traders, What If Media Group. We're excited to bring you a unified experience for working with real-time data, and it's packed with amazing features. If you're not already using Lenses, you can try it for free in our community edition. And now, let's speak to Sandra and Guillaume about why working with streaming data is so important.
We all see how real-time data is leading business transformation. It opens up whole new opportunities of applications that can be delivered, from a video surveillance service that detects theft to a hyper-personalized AI marketing system.
I feel streaming should be easy, but it's definitely not. So if you're a developer, we feel your pain and frustration.
Yeah, going from traditional data processing, data that's sitting at rest, to data that's sitting on a stream can seem daunting. You need to adapt to a whole new paradigm. As a result, almost all developers are dependent on a small number of streaming and infrastructure experts. They simply don't have the tools that previously helped them.
This is the most frustrating part. It's too complex and you just don't have enough autonomy to work with streaming. It can only be addressed by fundamentally changing how we build real-time apps, empowering more people to be autonomous when working with real-time data.
Lenses 6 is a big step towards this. Adamos, tell us more about where the new version of Lenses is taking us.
Thanks, Alex. Sure. Well, Lenses 6 is the foundation for our vision of the data operating fabric. The data operating fabric is an intelligent platform that oversees and controls your complete ecosystem of real-time data and apps. Think of automated operations and flows on data spanning your entire business. Lenses 6 is the first step. One place, all of your data and apps. And this is why we codenamed it Panoptes, the all-seeing giant from ancient Greek mythology.
So let's take a look at this in action, though. Say I'm a developer for Lensair, an airline that prides itself on offering the best real-time digital services. A new key service I need to build is real-time notifications that alert passengers when their luggage is delayed and hasn't boarded the correct flight. This would normally take me a long time, involve lots of different teams, and loads of platform tickets.
I know. Well, all right, challenge accepted. Let's see if I can get you to become totally autonomous. We'll try and get you to build a notification pipeline with Lenses in minutes without any of the ticket tennis. And then maybe we can get a sneak preview of what the team is working on for 6.1.
Yeah, okay, but an airline is serious business. There's planes in the air and lots of personal data that we collect. Data that is strictly controlled for access purposes, right?
Right. Well, true, and there's a whole bunch of interesting challenges. From what you've told me, one, Lensair has lots of different Kafka clusters, not just one, around their business. There's a mixture of Confluent Cloud, Red Panda, Azure Event Hubs, and open source. And two, the data is likely to need to be transformed in the first place before it gets consumed by your app. And three, Lensair has strict controls for data security.
So where do I even start to look? The idea of 10 Kafka clusters with thousands of topics each gives me a headache. I can already imagine a bookmark bar full of Kafka environments that I have to sieve through one by one.
Well, good news, in Lenses 6, that is no longer a problem. We have a single pane of glass that unifies all your Kafka clusters in one place. And that's why we call Lenses 6 multi-Kafka. So let me show you. I'll head over to what we call the Lenses HQ. It's connected to the Lensair ecosystem, and I can already see a number of streaming environments. For example, I can see production, staging, dev, different Kafka clusters from different departments from Lensair.
Okay, great. Now I want to find luggage events. My product manager told me the luggage events are driven by this luggage ID field.
Right. Well, to find data, I'm going to head over to the global data catalog. Okay, I see a lot of topics here. Actually, what I'm seeing is topics from all 10 of your environments in one place, which is great. The problem, of course, is that we don't know which topic to look for, and we only have that field to work with. So how do we solve it? Well, we simply type luggage ID, and Lenses gives us all streams containing this field in the events across the entire set of Kafka environments. Okay, so what I'm going to pick here is the airline luggage topic, which is a JSON topic, and it's an EU prod environment. But how does Lenses do this? The thing is that Lenses actually under the hood intelligently infers the schemas of your streams, even if you don't have a schema registry.
That's great, but does that mean that anyone can just see any data they want?
No, because this is where our new global permission model comes in. We call it IAM, and we believe it's the most powerful and flexible permission model out there. And of course, it's multi-Kafka native. It's designed to give you fine-tuned permissions and granularity. You can easily express common patterns across multiple environments and teams. In your case, you're allowed to discover any stream, but you have read-only access to certain production clusters. But finding a topic is just the beginning. Here's where more magic comes in, because I can instantly explore the data with SQL across all your Kafka clusters. And that's what's great about it. It doesn't need moving any data. It's SQL applied directly on the topic. Look how easy and direct it is. I don't have to wait for anything to be spun up or copied around. For long-standing Lenses users, you'll probably notice that we've totally revamped the SQL Studio. It's becoming the workspace for exploring all aspects of my streams. I now have this handy time picker as well to filter out just a time slice. And my favorite feature of all, split screen. I can now compare two topics across two different clusters at the same time. And finally, I can even view my consumer groups from my topics, and I can see them again in split screen.
Doing this without Lenses would have taken me so much longer to figure out and relied on so many tickets to be filed. But for me to work with this data in my application, I'm not going to want to consume all this data. I only need the luggage data that's marked as missing. Not every bag in the system, not every field, and definitely not every one of the millions of events in this topic. So ideally, I want to filter out those up front so that I can reduce the load on my app and keep it responsive.
I hear you. No problem. So what we're going to do first is use the SQL Studio to filter this data. But over here, what we're seeing is just a one-off point-in-time query. What we really want to do is continuously transform this data to be consumed by your application, right? So this is where our second SQL engine comes in, what we call SQL processors. Traditionally, if you wanted to do it by yourself, you'd have to write a Kafka Streams app with hundreds of lines of Java code. But with Lenses, it's just a few easy lines of SQL. And with just a few clicks, or maybe even via a CI/CD process, Lenses will build your app and deploy it on one of your Kubernetes clusters. It's that easy. All you have to do is just fire it up and watch those events being processed.
That's great. I now have a live stream of all delayed luggage. The only problem is I still don't know which customer to contact. I can probably find a topic of customer details. Could I combine the data from both sides upstream, or do I need to figure it out in my app?
Very good question. And the good news is that the SQL processors also support topic joins. So basically, you can easily enrich the delayed luggage with customer details and have it as a stream ready for your app.
That's so much simpler than I expected. One last thing. How do I get this data into MongoDB? That's where my application can consume it.
Right. Well, you can do this with self-service connector deployment. From within Lenses, you can deploy any Kafka connector, many of which are developed by us here at Lenses, and they're open source. So what you're going to do is configure the connector as code like this, and you can deploy it directly or via your CI/CD. And you can see already the data start flowing.
So I won't need to submit a ticket and wait for someone to set this up?
Nope, you can do it by yourself in just minutes.
Now, what about monitoring? There's nothing worse than getting that message from support asking if the application is down, only to realize it's been failing for hours.
I know, that's something we all want to avoid. So here's our topology view, because it shows your entire pipeline and data lineage, how the data flows between topics and apps.
What kind of issues can I detect with this?
Well, you can monitor consumer lag when processing falls behind, unusual message throughput patterns for your producers, data format issues, the kind of problems that typically cause major disruptions.
And I'll be notified before users start reporting problems?
That's right. You can receive alerts via Slack, email, PagerDuty, whatever system you use. Just set the thresholds that make sense for your application and you're good to go. So Drew, hopefully what we saw here is that instead of taking hours or even days, we managed to get you up and running with creating notifications in just a few minutes. And most of all, what's important is that it was done in a safe manner, autonomously, right? We managed to discover the data ourselves. We didn't have to contact anyone. We have the right permissions in place, and we managed to prep the data in minutes. And that's just a glimpse of the power of Lenses 6.
Nice. And didn't you mention something about a sneak peek of upcoming features?
That's right. Now that Lenses 6 Panoptes is released, we're not stopping. We're making a new cool product, a universal Kafka cluster-to-cluster data replicator we're calling, well, Kafka to Kafka, or K2K for short. K2K is going to help you share data streams across your organization, migrate data to or from the cloud, all with no vendor restrictions. Replicate from any Kafka to any Kafka.
Sounds great. I can't wait to see a demo.
Stay tuned for future updates on this and many more exciting new features.
I love to get more developers to give this a try.
Nice. Boom.
Now you've seen how you can build a streaming data pipeline and feed it into a new application with complete autonomy in just minutes. And we learned about how Lenses K2K will take the operational burden out of replicating Kafka data across any cluster. If you're not already using Lenses, you can try Lenses 6 for free using Lenses Community Edition, linked in the video description. If you're already working with Lenses, reach out to us to try Lenses with your existing deployment.